Okay. Hello, Internet peoples. So I'm trying to do this more regularly. Not really for you so much as it is for me. So, haha. But, what are you gonna do? So today I want to talk about running. Have you ever been, late for something and you really want to, oh man, I'm running 5-10 minutes late. I know if I'll just run, I'll get there on time. It'll be awesome. So I'm like, okay, I'm darting in between the lanes and traffic. I'm looking all around. I'm getting super stressed out. Like literally running through the halls and then I'm out of breath, sweaty, but I'm there on time and it's awesome. Yeah, usually not so much. Usually you don't get there on time and it's awesome. Usually it goes less well than that. Usually what you end up doing is you get really, really frustrated, really enraged by everybody else around you. Why are you in my way? Can't you see I'm in a rush? Get out of my way! If you see yourself, if you catch that desire in yourself, I'm talking to myself, my past self. Hey, past self, if you see yourself needing to run, you screwed up earlier in the day. This is your punishment. You cannot make up for past mistakes in the moment. It's too late. If you feel yourself running through the airport, it's too late. You've missed your plane. Give up. Walk. You are an adult. You have dignity. Take your punishment. You missed your plane. You will pay more money to be on the next plane. You're late for work, you will get fired, you will find another job. You will be unemployed for a while. This is what you get. This is your punishment for screwing up. So, #pro tip, don't be late instead. Yeah, so that's easier said than done. Most of my life I've been 5, 10, 15 minutes late, 2 hours late, multiple days in a row. Why? There were a million reasons, there were a million excuses for why I was late each time. It made good sense of why I had to be late. But it wasn't till, years and years later, somebody made it blisteringly obvious to me that basically, for some things, if you are not 20 minutes early, you're completely useless. If you are not there early enough, people can't rely on you. They don't know if you're going to be there or not, so they just assume that you're not going to be there and just edit you out of the picture. They just pretend like you don't even exist because they don't know. It stresses them out. Some people are they can't deal with chaos. And you being there 5 minutes early some days, 5 minutes late some days, 10 minutes early some days, 10 minutes late other days, that kind of chaos, to some people that's like, who cares? But to a huge percentage of the population, that is a chaos on a level that they cannot deal with. And they're not going to just come out and tell you that. They're not going to just sit you down and say, you know what? You stress me out when you are inconsistently on time or late. Because that's admitting some weakness in themselves that they can't do it. They won't do it. You will never get this feedback. Unless it's from somebody who really, really loves you, pushing through the pain that it takes to really give somebody really difficult feedback. That's a huge gift. If somebody gives you that, take that. Apply it in your life and run with it. Never ignore feedback, especially difficult feedback, because it was probably really, really difficult for them to say it. It's so much easier to just well, if that guy's messing up, I'll just, ignore him. And much of my life I've gotten zero feedback from people who should have given me more. But, that was my fault in one way or another. So anyway, how did I actually solve the problem? So, knowing that it's a problem is only half the battle. How do you actually solve it? And for me, it was really, really difficult. There's the always saying, well, if you want to be on time, you should leave earlier. Okay, sure, but it seemed like no matter what I would do, no matter how hard I tried, it would just be the same problem over and over and over again, until I finally just sat down and I'm going to crush this. I'm going to figure it out. So, like, midweek meeting. Have to get me, 3 little girls and a wife who has health conditions to a meeting on time every day, 20 minutes early, at least, every single week. Forever. So, how do you do this? So, I found out that I had to just keep a stopwatch, or not a stopwatch, but check my phone to see how long it actually took to do real things. So for example, everybody's ready to go. Everybody's dressed, they're fed, hairbrush, shoes on, bags in hand, car keys found. Seriously, like, everybody's standing up, ready to walk out the door. How much time does it take from that point where we are ready to go to the car is pulling out of the driveway? My old mentality used to think that should be 0 minutes and 0 seconds. But when I actually looked at the numbers, that's at least 9 minutes. Which seems completely stupid. Why should it take 9 minutes to walk out the door, sit in your seat, turn the key, drive away? I don't know. Just did. It's like somebody, trips on a thing, somebody barfs, somebody turns out they brought the wrong bag, or they've got the wrong keys, or they trip over a thing, or they realize, oh look, there's just a million things. When you have, the more variables that you have in a situation, the more things that can go wrong, and when things go wrong, it just adds time. So you have to factor that in. And kind of the biggest mental hurdle that I had to get over was the feeling of what it felt like to be early. It felt like before, to be early was a bad thing. That I'm wasting my time. That I could be spending that time doing something else earlier in the day, watching another episode of TV, sleeping in a little bit longer. But what I realized after practicing this for months is that there is no better feeling on earth than being early. When you're early, even, let's say you need to be 20 minutes early, and instead of being 20 minutes early, you're 30 minutes early. The door isn't even unlocked yet. You can't even go in and sit down. All you can do is sit in your car and wait. Now, that sounds like the most stressful thing imaginable, but the actual experience in the moment is wonderful. It's such peace. I've done everything that I could possibly do in life, and now I'm early. There's no requirements of me in life. I have no responsibilities whatsoever for 10 whole minutes. I don't have to do anything. I can just sit and relax and breathe. I can check my phone. I can, chat with the people in the car. Whatever. It's just the most wonderful feeling. And now I crave that feeling of being early. And and that was kind of the switch that I needed. That, and really, really, really nailing it on setting multiple alarms. Let's say I have to be at the meeting at 7:30. I've calculated out that it takes 16 minutes to drive there, and then it takes 9 minutes to get in the car, so I'll set an alarm at one point so that I can hit snooze, and when the alarm goes off a second time, that's when you actually need to do the thing. When the first alarm goes off, you're like, okay, get prepared to do the thing. Start switching tasks. Start putting away whatever it is you're in the middle of doing. Say you're in the middle of, eating food. Well, your first alarm goes off. If you don't if you have to switch tasks that instant the alarm goes off, well, you can't. You got to put the food away, you got to wipe your face, you got to put the dishes away, wash your hands, whatever you got to do. It's going to be at least 5-10 minutes from the time that alarm goes off until you can actually switch tasks and do something else. So you have to you can set one alarm and hit snooze, the second alarm goes off, and that's when you know, boom, you better be on the next task right now. And so then I started, chasing that feeling of being early, and I'm adding a little bit of feeling early throughout the day. So now I've got, I hit, okay, I'm in the middle of eating, one alarm goes off, put everything away, and then I'm kind of early for the next alarm. Then I've got kind of a minute to just relax and walk in a relaxed manner to the other room, not stressing out, not panicking. Everything's cool. And the feeling that you have is, I'm on top of things. I'm an adult. I'm a serious, dignified person. I know what I'm doing. I'm handling it. I'm not rushing around. There's no better feeling in life than not being rushed. I'm on top of things. I've got it. I've got it calmly. I can sit down and tie my shoelaces for a second, and it's not going to be like, oh no, the entire world is ruined because I tied my shoelaces. Or I can sit down and fiddle with my phone for 5 minutes. It's not going to ruin anything. No, there's no upsetness. There's no stress. It's just, if you're always early, then you're at peace in life. It's wonderful. But it really takes doing the hard work of actually figuring out how long it's really going to take to do stuff and really sticking to it. Video got cut off. Whatever. I gotta figure that out. So, it's setting multiple alarms and being very careful at actually tracking how long things take. And when your alarm goes off, really, pushing yourself and making sure that you move on to the next thing as quickly as you can, because you know that next alarm is going to go off. You hit snooze on that alarm, you've got 9 minutes until that alarm goes off again. Why is it 9 minutes? Google it. It's kind of interesting. So when that next alarm goes off, you, boom, moving on to the next task. And then you just feel like, man, I'm on top of things. You stand a little bit taller. You're a little bit more confident. People respect you, and there's, the feeling of being respected. The feeling of you being there earlier than the boss. You being there earlier than the other people. Oh man, they come in, they look at you. Instantly, you have this look, this shared look of, you are the bigger man in this situation. You're the top dog. You are the one. Whoever's early wins. They win respect. They win praise. They win control and power. You're there early, you can set the agenda for the meeting. If it's like a work thing or whatever. So, keep in mind, if you feel panicked, if you feel rushed, if you feel stressed out about what's going on in your daily tasks, that is a huge red flag that you are not properly taking the time to do things properly, expecting how long things will really take, and all the glue time in between stuff, the getting in the car process, that 10 minutes. Also, there's no task in the universe that takes fewer than 15 minutes. Seriously. Brushing your teeth is 15 minutes. Well, maybe not, but whatever. Because, expect yourself to be a slacker. Expect yourself to get distracted. Expect yourself to, everybody's different, but expect everybody else's chaos to come in and mess up your whole routine. But if you got yours to the nines, and you don't put in some buffer time for some, what's a friendly epithet for a poor driver? I don't know, some Yahoo, some Yahoo driving crazy, whatever, he's all up in your lane, you're like, I'm late, whatever, get out of my way. But if you're early, you're like, whatever. I'll go 30 in a 55. No big deal. Still at peace. Still, you're fine. Listening to your music. Nothing stresses you out. You're the man. Or the woman. Or the adolescent. I don't know. You're whoever you are. You're that. You're the artificial intelligence robot. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm looking at my notes here. I got my notes. Oh yeah, so, yeah, think of it like archery. So, if you've ever played archery on like the Wii or something, I've never played it in real life. So, it's got the little pointer that says how much wind there is. There's 5 miles an hour wind, so you can't just point it straight at the target, because you're gonna miss. So you gotta adjust a little bit. Think of all the chaos of nonsense in life as wind. It's blowing your schedule off, so you gotta adjust. So you gotta point, like, I'm gonna aim to be there, let's say, 75 minutes early. And if I do, I know it's gonna curve, because all the wind is gonna blow your schedule off kilter, and then boom, you'll hit it directly on center, and on center is 20 minutes early. Yeah, so look at reality as it is. Don't be mad at reality for not living up to your expectations. Like, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is change yourself. Sometimes. And then plan in the task switching time. The time it takes you from stopping this one thing to starting the other thing. Set multiple alarms. Plan to snooze your alarm. Assume that you are a total slacker, loser, and will totally screw up your own plans in the moment. You're a terrible person, and you will ruin all of your own plans. But don't let yourself do that. It's not like you can stop yourself in the moment. Stop yourself ahead of time by setting the multiple alarms. Yeah. So, if you're running through the airport, you screwed up earlier in the day, blame your past self, forgive him. It's too late for him, he's in the past. There's nothing you can do to help him now. So, help your future self by promising to, I'm not going to do this again. Next time, I'm going to do this better. Forgive yourself. Relax. Move on with your life. You missed your plane. It's going to cost you some money. The world will go on. Good night, everybody!